Hi, I'm Elizabeth Spring,
And I'm Claudia Trivelas.
and today we're going to be talking about Scorpio. And as you probably know, Scorpio is between October 23rd and November 22nd. And one way I like to think about Scorpio is in terms of the five P's, okay? They're passionate, possessive, proud, probing, and powerful.
Yeah, that describes them. And Scorpio is a fixed sign ruled by Mars and Pluto,
Yes.
primarily Pluto.
And the sign of deep water. And Scorpio is associated with all things that are taboo and dangerous and have intensity.
The key words for Scorpio is I want. And
Mm.
desire is very descriptive of Scorpio, very intense desires.
Right.
And that can work in their favor or not work in their favor. Scorpio can either be the scorpion or it can be the eagle. There's another archetype for Scorpio. So it depends on which octave they
That's
resonate
what I do when I'm talking to my clients. I'll
Right.
sometimes instead of saying good or bad, I'll talk about a higher octave or a lower octave of
Right.
expression, because Scorpio is certainly one that really spans a lot, because they're drawn towards this depth and intensity, and even drawn towards you could say death, but any ending is a death of sorts. So is it going to be a death and destruction, or a death and a transformation?
Right.
Is it a higher octave, or is it
right
being played out on a lower?
Because the desire nature is so strong. It's So they again the key words I want. So sometimes they have to really step back, and see if what they want really works for them. It really works to get them what they ultimately want. There's a lot of power behind a Scorpio, but they can be magnificent healers when they set their mind to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they can heal themselves. They can heal other people.
Yeah.
They can heal themselves more than any other sign of the zodiac.
Well, they get to the bottom of things.
They do.
They're very analytical, and they're not satisfied till they get to the bottom of whatever it is they're searching for.
Right, like what is the motivation?
Right.
They're saying, is it money? Is it sex? Is it power? Why is this person acting a certain way?
And they'll usually call it.
Yeah, truth tellers.
Right, in a way that's no nonsense.
Yes,
Unlike a Libra, they're not particularly diplomatic.
Right. Although they can sometimes bring in a little heaviness with them, with the way they are. So sometimes people have said that each sign compensates for the sign that precedes it. So if you think that Libra wants to be light and harmonious, Scorpio wants to be truthful.
Or true to themselves, true to what they are going for.
Right.
True to their desire.
And then they can get heavy with that truthfulness. And then if you think of Sagittarius, the next sign, even though Sagittarius is also very truthful, it has a lighter, easier, freer way. It's a little less brooding sometimes than Scorpio can get.
Well, Scorpios have real staying power, again, to get to the bottom of whatever it is they're after. And that can be in terms of their own subconscious.
When you said staying, I thought you were saying stinging. You were going to say stinging
that's
power.
True, too. That's something they have to be aware of, is that they can sometimes hold a grudge and not be satisfied until they, fulfill that grudge.
Yeah.
But in terms of regenerative and transformational abilities, if so inclined, they can work on themselves and really, evolve to the next level where they can be of value to other people and share their stories.
Right.
Sometimes it's not easy. It's generally not that easy for a Scorpio, because they go at things with such gusto and intensity.
They do, and they have a fear of being controlled or overpowered as well. So then they can push away with that.
What I notice is that also a Scorpio wants to be in control. Sometimes their close associates feel as if they're trying to control them. But it's not so much that they're trying to control others, it's just they want to be in control of their environment, what's in front of them.
And they need these others, these friends sometimes, to bring in a little laughter. Scorpio needs friends.
Lighten up.
And to lighten up, because they can go so much into their truth, or really looking, what's the bottom line truth here, that everything gets to be rather dark, rather depressive almost. So they need these friends to come in and lighten things up.
Because even in the most mundane activity, they're very thorough.
Yes. Yeah. But with a conscious Scorpio, one who has done his or her healing work, life with them can really be an adventure into the unseen, a journey of depth and wisdom and power.
Yeah. It's a transformed intense. Scorpio can be very self-aware.
Yes.
Because they've gone through it, they'll get right in there and go to the extreme sometimes in that process of their own personal transformation.
Yes. So when you're thinking about Scorpio, also, you can think about the archetypes of the psychologist. Because, again, they're going for those, what's the motivation? And they're really hearing.
What's underneath.
What's underneath here. The shaman, the detective, the wise man or woman, if they've gone through their work, and also the wounded healer. In many ways, I think the evolutionary aim of Scorpio has to do with self-healing, because it's almost as if they've come into life with
I think they're uncomfortable until they get to the bottom of it. They're very soul-searching in that way.
Yes, and I admire that with the Scorpio, the depth that they're willing to go, and they can be very intimate. They're not afraid of intimacy. You're going to go, if this is your partner, you have to be ready for a ride. So it's ruled by Pluto. So it all depends. Pluto is lord of the underworld and the planet of transformation, major life transformation. So
sometimes life may not be that easy for Scorpio. Again, it depends on where all their planets are. But as they get older, I think their life does get easier because they've resolved issues.
Yes, or it can be bitter if they're not resolved.
That's true too.
Yeah. So it depends. Again, it's a good idea, I think, to look at things in terms of higher and lower octaves, and because there's a whole range of gray in between there,
especially with the Scorpio. More so than the other side.
Yes. Because did you already mention about the Scorpion and the Eagle?
Yes.
You did, yes. As you see the great expanse between the one that hides under the rocks and one that soars
and wants to sting if things don't go its way, versus the eagle who sees the higher perspective.
Right. And of course the Scorpion is the only creature, I guess, other than man, that can actually kill itself with its tail.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it can kill itself with its tail. So
interesting.
That tells you a little bit about Scorpio, I think, for today. So I hope you've picked up on some tidbits that maybe you weren't aware of. And if you want to find out more, or if you're interested in having a reading with either of us, I'm at elizabethspring.com.
And again, my name's Claudia Trivelas, and I'm at discoveryourimprint.com.
So thanks for coming by today.
Bye for now.